Okay, so let's start with the word unity. When you hear that, what's the first thing that pops into your head?
Hmm. For most people, it's probably something like harmony, everyone agreeing.
Exactly. For me, I picture people in matching outfits all singing the same song. It feels a lot like sameness, like conformity.
Right.
But the text we're diving into today, it just completely flips that on its head. It makes this really bold claim that unity is not sameness.
It really does. The definition it offers is coherence without collapse. And that last part, without collapse, I think that's aimed directly at a very common fear.
Oh, absolutely. It's the fear I have right now just thinking about it. Do I disappear? If I achieve unity, do I just dissolve into some kind of cosmic soup? Because I kind of like it being me.
And that's the ego's valid concern, but this perspective tackles that head on. The argument is that beyond identity, nothing is erased. The goal isn't to get rid of you.
Okay.
The only thing that goes away is the constant need to defend a shape.
That brings us right to the ego. And in almost every other text we've looked at, the ego is the bad guy, the thing you have to destroy.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is different. It doesn't villainize the ego at all, does it?
No, and that's what's so refreshing. It states it pretty plainly. The ego is not wrong.
But that's hard to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
My ego feels like the source of my problems. It gets defensive. It gets jealous. If we're not supposed to fight it, what's the move?
We just put it in its proper place. The issue isn't that the ego exists. It's its position. The text uses this great metaphor.
Which is
It calls the ego a tool mistaken for a throne.
a tool mistaken for a throne. I like that. That's a great image.
Think of a hammer. A hammer is a fantastic tool, but you wouldn't let it design the building.
Right, because all it knows how to do is hit things.
Exactly. And when the ego is on the throne, it's exhausted. It has to constantly protect its kingdom. It survives by comparison. It's always asking, am I good enough? Do they respect me?
That sounds miserable. That's
Yeah.
a full-time job.
It is. So the text contrasts that with unity. The ego on the throne, identity, is always saying, this is me.
Okay.
Unity just acknowledges this is happening.
This is happening. That sounds simple, but what does that mean in practice? Let's say I get some harsh feedback at work.
Perfect example. If the ego's on the throne, that feedback is an attack. It's about you. This is me. You get defensive. You protect the shape of good employee.
Yeah, that's just familiar.
But if you just see it as this is happening, the feedback is just information. It's not about your fundamental worth. It's about the task. You can just respond to it accurately without the whole emotional meltdown.
So it's about dropping the story.
Precisely. And that leads to another big misconception this text wants to clear up. What do you think that non-defensive state feels like?
Honestly, I'm expecting fireworks. Some kind of peak spiritual high, a feeling of merging with the universe.
And that's the trap. This material says true unity is, well, it's ordinary.
Ordinary. That's a bit of a letdown.
Is it, though? A high is temporary. You can't live there. This is about your actual life. The text calls it clarity without edges. It's not an explosion of feeling. It's the absence of internal war.
The absence of internal war. Okay, that actually sounds much better than fireworks. It sounds like relief. But I'm still caught on that fear of disappearing. The text uses the word transparent. Doesn't that mean I become invisible?
Not invisible, transparent. Think about a window.
Okay.
When a window's dirty, you look at it, you notice the smudges, the frame. That's the ego calling attention to itself.
Right.
But when a window is perfectly clean, you look through it, the glass is still there, it still has a shape, but it's not obstructing the view.
So I'm still me, but I'm not blocking the light with all my defenses.
Exactly. You remain distinct, specific. But you are, as the text says, no longer alone inside yourself. The fight is over because there was never actually an enemy.
It's all just. Noticing that the separation we feel is a habit. It's not actually required.
You don't have to perform or achieve anything. It's about what you can let go of.
So we'll leave you with a thought to take with you, which comes straight from the logic of this text. If unity isn't something you have to achieve, but is simply the absence of resistance, what burden are you carrying right now that is simply unnecessary?
Yeah, something to think about.
Thanks for deep diving with us. We'll catch you next time.